Jessica! I saw your post. You finally got divorced. Thanks for giving me Jack. I'm off to our new house.
Oh, so you saw my post.
Yeah. But you really are stupid, huh? I can't believe you would actually tell the world about your embarrassing life.
I didn't really have a choice. Jack and I went to high school together, and we even worked at the same company until we got married. The majority of people who follow me are from high school or my old workplace. And we have a high school reunion next year, so it's better that everyone finds out now. This was the easiest way to tell everyone.
Oh.
And I'm not embarrassed that I got divorced.
You don't have to act tough. You just weren't attractive enough to make your husband want to stay. There's no way you're not embarrassed.
Maybe I would be if it was my fault, but you and Jack are the embarrassing ones.
What?
You may think it's the person who gets cheated on's fault that their spouse cheated on them, but that's just the excuse people give when they're the ones at fault. And it's just embarrassing for you to pretend like what you're saying is true at all. You're just showing everyone how you have no shame.
Whatever. It doesn't matter what you say. Jack is mine now, which means that I'm hotter than you. And this is the truth. So don't be a sore loser.
Think whatever you want. And I'm busy right now with moving, so...
Okay. Bye, loser. Jessica, how is your sad, loser, lonely single life? I bet you're so sad and lonely. I feel so bad for you. And all the while, I'm so happy with Jack.
I'm working right now, so bye.
Wait! I have something really important I need to talk to you about.
What?
You got your alimony and child support, right?
Oh, yeah. My lawyer told me Jack contacted him.
Okay. Then make sure you send me that money.
What? Are you telling me to give the money back?
No. It's your child support and alimony payment to me.
What are you talking about?
Well, Jack was supposed to get custody of Theo, but you took it from him.
What are you talking about? I took it from him. There was no way Jack was going to get custody of Theo in the first place.
I was so excited to be Theo's new mommy, but you ruined everything, so pay me. I'm going to get Theo's child support and your alimony.
Are you serious? The alimony is mine, and the child support payments are for Theo.
Fine. I'll say it one more time. You robbed me of the joy of being Theo's mommy. You really hurt me, you know. So you have to pay me for emotional damages.
You're talking such nonsense, I thought you were speaking another language just now.
What?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you something important. He probably hasn't told you yet, so I will.
What?
Jack was fired today.
What? Why? He was going to be promoted to an executive. There's no way he would be fired.
Come on, think about it. If he becomes an executive, the company has to trust him to be responsible. But how can he be trustworthy if he betrays his family? And he was going on dates with you when he was supposed to be working. Leaving work at all hours to do God knows what with you. What company would let a guy like that be an executive? No clients would want to work with him. Of course he would be fired.
I can't believe this. Oh, but... You'll be giving me your alimony and Theo's child support, right?
What?
We'll live off of that for the time being. We'll be fine. So make sure you send me $2,000 every month.
I have a right to receive alimony, and child support is for Theo, so you can't have it.
But I was supposed to be Theo's mommy.
Supposed to be means just that. You're not actually his mom.
Then give me Theo. Theo would be much more happier with a mommy and a daddy.
You two don't even have jobs. Of course, the financially stable parent would get custody.
But you quit your job and are a stay-at-home mom. How are you, an unemployed single mother, going to raise a child?
I work from home.
From home? Whatever. I bet you barely make any money.
The first 2-3 years was hard, but it's been 8 years. I make $5,000 a month now.
$5,000?
And Theo will be starting first grade next year, so I'll be able to work even more.
I can't believe this!
To get back to what I was saying, Jack paid me child support and alimony in a one-time payment, so I bet Jack almost has no savings left. Actually, I heard he's been taking out loans here and there.
Loans?
He probably easily has over $100,000 in debt.
You're lying. Jessica! It's all your fault! We had to leave our love nest!
Your love nest?
Don't laugh!
Come on, it's funny. It wasn't even your house originally. But you were so happy thinking you were going to be living there.
I didn't know! I didn't know that the lease was in Uncle Terry's name!
We were planning on building our own house someday. But we got divorced before we could.
He told us we need to move out by the end of the month. I can't believe he's kicking his own niece out.
I'm also his niece, but okay.
He likes me better.
He might have, but I applaud Uncle Terry for not giving you any special treatment after what you did.
That's not what I want to talk about right now. We don't have enough money to move to a new place. You need to give me money. Since you're making $5,000 a month, you don't need to take money from me and Jack.
This again. You want money that badly?
Yes.
How much?
Huh? You'll give me money?
I won't give it to you, but I can put you in touch with someone who might help you out. They might even be able to help you find a new place to live.
Really? You know someone that's nice and helpful?
I don't know if I would describe them as nice and helpful.
They sound super nice. They sound much nicer than you.
Okay. I'll give you their number so you can figure out the rest yourself, okay?
Okay. Jessica! What is going on? Hey!
What?
Earn even more debt!
Huh?
I called the person you told me about and they asked me how much I wanted. So I just went for it and said $200,000. They gave me the money, but when I got to the new place they found for us, it was for a live-in job. And the owner of the place told me I need to start working tomorrow and pay him back the $200,000 I borrowed. What is going on?
So it seems like you thought that they would just give you the money?
Huh? But you said they would give it to me.
I never said that. And you signed the IOU, right?
What IOU? That was an IOU?
I'm sure they explained it to you.
I don't remember anything about that.
But you did sign it, right?
Well,
They recorded your conversation when you met with them to sign the IOU. And I've listened to it, but their explanation was very clear and concise.
but...
You told them you understood the agreement and signed the IOU. So it's a binding contract. They let you borrow so much because you're my little sister. So, you better pay them back, no matter how long it takes.
This can't be happening.
The man my sister was talking about was my best friend's father. My best friend was with me when I got those texts from my sister demanding I give her money, and she called her father, which led to this situation. By the way, the $200,000 my sister borrowed, some of it went to pay off the rest of the alimony and child support Jack hadn't owed me, and Jack and Emily spent the rest of it partying. So all they did was end up owing more money and change who they owed the money to. What were they thinking? So, in the end, my horrible sister and ex-husband's future will be spent trying to pay back all the money they owe.
Janet, I heard you gave birth yesterday. Bob told me.
That's right, Susan. I'm sorry it took me so long to call. My water broke before my due date. I rushed to the hospital, and the birth was a bit of a mess.
I don't mind that. I hear the baby is a girl.
Yes, a girl. She's a healthy girl, just like Bob.
Huh. How can you tell who she looks like? She's a newborn.
Well, she really does look like him. Please, come and see her sometime.
What? Who's going to see her?
Oh no. Susan, aren't you happy about the birth of your grandchild?
Because it's a girl, right?
What's wrong with our baby being a girl?
You're dumb, aren't you? Did you think I'd be unconditionally happy just because a grandchild was born?
No,
Janet, don't you have something to say to me?
What is there to say?
An apology. An apology.
Huh?
I'm sorry I gave birth to a girl. You should apologize to me, my husband and Bob.
Why should I apologize? Boy or girl, they're your grandchildren. They're important members of your family.
Family? Are you joking?
What?
I think you already know. The baby you've given birth to is our first grandchild. The first grandchild must be a boy.
I've never heard that before.
Listen, Janet. My family has been running a company for generations. The eldest son is supposed to take over. Bob is the eldest son. I need you, his wife, to give birth to a boy.
But in this day and age, there are many female presidents. I don't think the eldest son has to be the president.
Are you challenging your mother-in-law?
I'm not trying to.
Let me tell you clearly. You're an unfit wife if you can only give birth to a girl. When you're discharged from hospital, I want you to go back to your parents' house. Don't ever cross our household again.
Huh? Does that mean I should divorce Bob?
That's right.
No matter how much you want it, isn't that terrible?
Well, your most important role as a wife is to give birth to a boy. If you can't fulfill your duties as a wife, you'll have to divorce.
You're being too extreme.
Janet, look at reality. You'll be 40 soon. Maybe you think you can have a boy next time. Even if you start trying for a baby now, it's probably impossible to have a second child.
That doesn't mean...
Well, it's just after the birth. We can talk about divorce when you get out of the hospital.
Please, don't go ahead with the conversation on your own. I don't think even Bob would agree to this. He said he doesn't mind whether it's a boy or a girl, as long as they're born safe.
How can that be Bob's true feelings? He's a kind boy. He was just trying to be nice. I'm sure he really wanted a boy. He must be deeply disappointed that it was a girl who was born.
No, Bob isn't like that.
You don't know anything about Bob, do you?
Huh?
Bob has loved football since he was a kid. When he becomes a father, he dreams of playing football with his children. He once told me about it.
I see. But girls can play football too, right?
Don't come at me all the time. You really aren't very nice at all, are you?
Huh?
Actually, I've been looking for his next wife, anticipating this.
What?
The truth is, I was against you getting married to Bob. I wanted a younger, honest, and lovely wife for him. Bob married a woman 5 years older than him. Even so, since Bob insisted on marrying you, I allowed it. After all, an older wife is no good. She won't listen to her mother-in-law, and it's hard to get pregnant. And when she finally had a baby, it was a girl. I'm going to get rid of a cocky, useless wife like you. I'm going to find a girl who's younger than Bob and still capable of having children.
That's something you decided on your own, isn't it?
Well, I haven't told Bob yet. I'm sure he'll be happy. Bob would prefer a younger wife, of course.
I don't think so.
Oh, God. It's so annoying how you argue with me every time. Anyway, we don't want a wife in our family who can only give birth to a girl. You should know your place and let Bob go.
I'm sorry. Can I be excused now?
Huh?
Talking to you is stressing me out and it's making my milk supply worse.
Oh, God. That's a terrible thing to say. I can't believe you treat your mother-in-law like she's a bad person. That's why he shouldn't have married an older woman. I knew I had to get you and Bob to divorce right now.
Janet, how are you feeling? How's the baby? I'm heading to the hospital as soon as I finish work today.
Thanks, Bob. Me and the baby are fine, but...
What's wrong?
I got a text from Susan this morning.
What could it be? Did she say something terrible to you?
Yeah.
What? I told her not to mess with you right after you gave birth. I thought I had warned her. I'm sorry for her always bothering you. What did she say this time?
She told me to apologize.
Huh? Why should you apologize?
Because I gave birth to a girl instead of a boy, even though she's decided that her first grandchild will be a grandson, she said.
No. I've never heard of a rule that says the first grandchild must be a boy.
I can only give birth to a girl. I'm an unfit wife, so she also wants us to divorce.
Divorce?
You're the eldest son and will take over the company. She wants me to have a boy. She's looking for your next wife, too.
What? What's that?
She says it's better for you to have a younger wife. She said that Bob thinks so, too.
Give me a break. I don't have the slightest intention of divorcing you. I don't even care about the gender of the baby.
I see. Then I'm glad.
Come on, there's no way I'm going to do what she wants.
I knew that, but maybe it's because I'm mentally unstable after giving birth, but when Susan told me so strongly, I got really worried. But since you said it clearly in your own words, I felt relieved.
Yeah. I'm going to protect you and our daughter as a husband and father from now on. I will never divorce for that reasons like Mom insists.
Thank you, Bob.
Speaking of which, you're leaving hospital next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We should be ready to welcome the baby home by then.
Right, yeah. It's just...
What? What's wrong?
Susan told me to go to my parents' house after I'm discharged. To be honest, I don't want to see her for a while. Until I'm feeling better. I thought maybe I shouldn't go home until I'm feeling better.
You're right. Mom even asked for a divorce.
It's like she wanted a male grandchild so badly. I'm really really worried about what she might do to our kid.
Right. Well, I'll talk to Dad about it.
I'd appreciate that. But I wonder if your father would be disappointed that his grandchild is a girl.
I don't think so. Unlike her, Dad doesn't seem to be obsessed with the gender of his grandchildren. As for my mother's snubbing of you, it seems to bother him a lot. I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to me about it.
Okay.
I'll stop by the hospital in the evening.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
Janet, I hear that today's the day you're discharged from hospital.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, you don't have to come back to our house.
What do you mean?
Oh, I told you before, didn't I? You and Bob are getting a divorce. I've sent all your stuff to your parents' house.
Oh, to my parents' house?
That's right. Bob is getting a new wife now. We can't keep his ex-wife's stuff forever, can we?
Huh? So I should just go back to my parents' house?
Yes, you can. Yes. But as you'd expect, I'd feel sorry for you if I kicked you out for free. I'll pay you alimony.
Huh? Alimony?
How about $150,000?
Huh? That much?
In exchange, promise me you'll never come near Bob again. Well, maybe it's too high. But if we can have a clean breakup with his useless wife for $150,000, it's a small price to pay.
Does your husband know about the alimony?
I haven't told him yet, but I'm sure he'd say he doesn't want a daughter-in-law who can only give birth to girls. I'll give you $150,000 in alimony, then divorce my son as soon as possible.
I'm glad. Thank you very much.
What?
You've helped me a lot.
Huh? Are you so happy to get compensation?
No, I can't receive money like $150,000.
Then what's so helpful?
That you packed my bags. I thought it'd be hard to organize things with a newborn. Thank you for your kindness.
Janet, do you understand?
Understand what?
You're happy to go to your parents?
Of course.
You know, you're divorcing Bob. You'll have to raise the kid by yourself from now on. It's not something you should be happy about.
Oh, about that. I heard that Bob wants to talk to you.
Oh, Bob?
Yes, he's going to call you now.
Wait a minute. Isn't Bob at work?
Well then, excuse me.
Janet, wait!
Just as I predicted. I thought you'd text me on the day Janet left the hospital.
Hey, Bob. Where are you now? You're supposed to be at work. Don't tell me you're at the hospital with Janet.
That's right. I took a day off today and came to pick up Janet.
Huh? Why do you have to pick up Janet? You guys are getting divorced soon.
I know.
Then why are you... You're not a couple anymore. Why don't you let your parents pick up Janet?
You know what, Mom? Who decided that the first grandchild in our family has to be a boy?
What?
I've never heard of a rule that the eldest son takes over the company. Was it in the work regulations?
That's...
It's all something you came up with on your own, isn't it?
Well... You must be disappointed that Janet gave birth to a girl, right? If the eldest son didn't have a son, and didn't have an heir, and the company would go out of business.
I don't care about gender at all. Dad doesn't think the next president of the company has to be the eldest son.
That's a lie. In fact, you're supposed to succeed your father as the next president. Then who will be the next president after you? Your eldest son must be the next president.
About that, I've decided not to be the president.
What?
I'm going to work for Dad's company, but it doesn't mean I'm still going to be the president. He's never been a big fan of hereditary either.
I won't allow such a thing.
It's not a question of whether you'll allow it or not. It's just a coincidence that the eldest sons have taken over the company. Dad himself doesn't think that the next president has to be the eldest son. He said he thinks a woman is fine, as long as she's capable.
No. It's impossible for a woman to be the president. That's exactly what would destroy the company.
That's your prejudice. Times are different now. You know, this is a medical thing, but the gender of the baby is determined by the father.
Really?
So it's wrong to blame Janet for having a girl. The idea that it's okay to have a boy and not okay to have a girl is in itself an anachronism. It's extremely old-fashioned.
Bob, you said earlier that you won't become president. Are you planning to quit your father's company?
I'm quitting.
Your father won't allow you to do that.
I've already told Dad.
What?
Don't worry. I've already found a new job.
Where are you going to work?
A company owned by one of Janet's relatives.
Huh? Janet's relative?
Yeah. Janet's uncle is the president. One of his employees had just left, and they were short-staffed. He approached me.
Wait a minute. You're divorcing Janet, aren't you? That's crazy. I can't believe you're working for your ex-wife's relative's company.
I've decided to remarry Janet.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm getting a divorce, just like you said. Let me remarry and do what I want.
But you're going to marry your ex-wife again? Why would you do something so pointless?
I've decided to remarry and take Janet's surname.
What?
I really didn't want to get divorced, but to change my surname is unavoidable, isn't it? Well, would it be just a divorce and a remarriage on paper?
Don't be silly. You're the eldest son in our family.
That's why I decided to change my surname.
Huh?
As long as I keep my family surname, you'll never get out of the outdated way of thinking, will you? You probably won't stop picking on my wife until you die. So I should just change my surname and leave. Maybe that'll wake you up.
Oh no, that's not good. Your new wife is coming to our house soon.
You know what? That's just another thing you decided on your own, isn't it? Our neighbors are talking about you. You've been talking to every young woman you can find, asking them to marry me.
But we're a famous family that's run a company for generations. If I asked them to marry you, of course everyone would be happy.
Everyone is annoyed.
What?
Yesterday, when you were at home, we received a complaint. Your mother is pestering my daughter, she said. I know she's joking, but can't you do something about it? I apologized to her. I'm embarrassed. Please, don't bother everyone again.
I see. I thought they were just being reserved.
Well, I'm taking Janet and my little girl to the place we're moving to.
Moving? I thought she was going back to her parents' house.
She thought about going back to her hometown, but decided not to. Janet's mother works too, so she's busy. She'll just pick up her stuff, but she won't live with her parents.
Then tell me where your new home is.
I won't.
Why not?
It's my job to protect my wife and kids from danger.
What's that? Are you saying I harmed Janet or my grandchild?
You've been badgering Janet a lot in the past. Just to be safe, I'll keep her away from you.
Why don't you let me see my grandchild at least once?
How can you say that? When my daughter was born, you didn't come to see her because she's a girl.
Wait,
I don't want the $150,000 in alimony you said you'd pay Janet.
what?
You were going to borrow money to pay it without telling Dad, weren't you? Janet doesn't seem to have any intention of accepting it from the start either. Well then, goodbye.
Bob, wait! I didn't have any contact with my mother-in-law after that. According to my husband, she divorced my father-in-law and now lives alone. My father-in-law had always had a problem with my mother-in-law's insane behavior. She tried to get Bob to divorce me because I gave birth to a girl. She also tried to get Bob to remarry with a neighbor's daughter without permission and did other crazy things. Finally, he gave up on her. Now, my mother-in-law has reflected on her own behavior, and she is trying to get my father-in-law to get back together with her. My father-in-law is very angry and has no intention of forgiving her. My mother-in-law will probably spend the rest of her life alone. My husband's brother, her second son, has also always avoided her and hasn't seen her in years. As for me, I live happily with my husband and my daughter. I'm having a hard time raising her because I'm a first-time mother. My father-in-law sometimes comes to visit me and takes care of her. I am very grateful for that.